Hey, Knott Avenue family, this is Pastor Mike with the privilege to bring to you today's Looking Forward Friday word of encouragement. We want to talk about past Sunday's message and kind of look forward to this Sunday's message with an application. And we want to look at Romans chapter 10, verse 14 and 15. That's one of the things Pastor Joe preached on this past weekend. And I want to talk about a passage that sometimes people get intimidated by. And I want to take away the intimidation. I want to encourage you to feel free. Romans 10, 14 and 15 says, "How can they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how are they to believe in him in whom they have not heard? And how are they to hear without someone preaching?" People get, preaching. "And how are they to preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who preach the good news." A lot of times when people hear that word preach or preaching, they tune out. They said, "Not me." It's intimidating. It's disqualifying. People say, "Hey, I'm not a preacher. I can't stand up in front of people and share. I didn't go to Bible school. I haven't been trained." I've actually seen that people use this very verse that says we need to go out and help people here to say, "I'm out. I'm disqualified." It's actually an excuse because they say, "Look, that's for the preacher to do, and I'm not a preacher. I'm not standing up in front of church. I'm not standing up in front of stadiums, and I'm not on TV or the internet. So since I'm not one of those preachers, then I don't have to share." Well, the word preach doesn't mean to stand up in front of a church on a Sunday morning. It doesn't mean to fill a stadium like Anaheim Stadium, like Greg Laurie and the Harvest Crusade, or Billy Graham for some of those of you who remember him. The word preach just means to make known. It's to reveal. It's to announce. It's to proclaim. It's really announcing something with conviction and persuasion, something you're really excited about. In this context here in Romans 10, it's to persuade with eternal accountability, and that something's going to happen that is meaningful and important. Now, some people, again, say, "No, I don't preach. That's not me, so I'm out." But let me help you understand that really it's announcing and declaring and proclaiming. And I want to give you an illustration. What if I were your next door neighbor and I came home and I saw that your house was on fire? I'm seeing some smoke and maybe a little bit of sparks and some flames. But then I say to myself, "Wow, I didn't go to fire academy and I didn't study fire science. So even though it looks like fire, even though it smells like fire, I'm really not technically qualified because I didn't go to higher education in regards to fire." And so, I would love to tell my neighbors, I would love to tell you that your house is on fire, but, I'm not qualified. Well, how would you feel if I was that kind of neighbor? You'd be thinking, "Mike, you're a numbskull. How come you didn't tell me?" But you know what? I would. I would declare, announce, and reveal and proclaim with conviction, "Your house is on fire." Why? Because I'm just relating. I'm relating what is happening. And when it says the word preach here in Romans 10, it means to tell and to relate and to announce. So I want to encourage you that instead of getting freaked out by the word preach, just think, I'm relating the truth of God. I'm making it known. I'm relating it in detail. I'm revealing the truth of God, how it was revealed to me. Let me tell you, if you just do that, reveal the truth of God, how it was related to you, you will make a difference in going and making more disciples, helping people understand. You're going to express in words, and you're going to inform, and you're going to give an account of what you live. So I'd encourage you, tell what you know about God. Tell you what you know about his love and about who he is in truth. And you know what? You're going to get asked some questions that you don't know the answers to, and that's okay. The best thing you can say is, "I don't know, but I will get back to you." And you know what? That'll cause you to grow. So when you're revealing and you're telling and you're relating God's word, share what you know and get back answers later of what you don't know. Then also not only tell what you know about God and the gospel, but tell your own story. You know what? Nobody can ever contradict your own story. When you say, "This is how God met me," and you tell that story and you relate that story and you just announce it, declare it, and share it, you're not up in front of a stadium. You're not on a pulpit. You're not in a platform. You're just sitting there maybe across the table. at Starbucks, maybe out to lunch, maybe hanging out, doing your favorite activity with the person. Then after you get done and you're getting something to drink, you're just sharing, you're relating. And that's what it is to preach. So don't worry about getting up in front of people, but just relate who you are. Now this Sunday, Pastor Joe is going to take us back into the book of John. And he's going to open up with how Jesus preached, or actually revealed the truth of God in a relatable way to just one person. He's going to talk about how he related to the woman at the well in John chapter 4. Now, he didn't stand up and say, "Lady, you sit down while I stand up and open up the scriptures." He just related to her, and he related to her on her level, and he gave illustrations that applied to her. And so we're going to see how Jesus, in a casual but very impactful way, preached, or really told, revealed the truth of God. So my encouragement to you is, don't get intimidated about being a preacher. Just be a relator, a teller of your story, of what you know, of how God impacted you. And when you tell that story, people will then hear. And when people then hear, then they can believe. And when they can believe, they can be transformed. So I encourage you, don't be shy. Don't hold back. Don't use the excuse like, "Well, I'm not qualified. I didn't go to school for that." You know what? It didn't fly with me not telling you about your fire at your house, right? You need to just share in a way that encourages, relates, and reveals. So may God bless you as you go out and reveal to others His truth and love.